So today we're going to be doing potato latkes with some chicken fat, some schmaltz. I only do this a couple times a year, but I essentially, when I'm making my roast chicken, I'll make stock afterwards, and then I will let that sit in the fridge. The stock comes to the top. I have a video on Instagram, I think, where I do this. And then I just put it in the freezer until I'm ready to do this. I tried it the first time last year. It was unbelievable. The potatoes taste like chicken, for lack of a better way to put it. They're fantastic. So first step is we're just peeling potatoes, and then I have my box grater, oops, in a bowl of water. Just splash the whole floor. I'll clean that up shortly. And then we're just doing this to get as much of the starch out. So for me, it's really not laziness, but in this case, just so I can get this done now and then not have to worry about it for a while. But you could do this right before and just rinse the starch out. You can hopefully see that there the water's pretty cloudy, and it'll just continue to get cloudier as we do the rest of the potatoes. So we will strain that. We'll probably do a couple of rinses, and then we'll put all of the potatoes in a cheesecloth, and we'll wring out all the water. So it might seem counterproductive to put them in water now, but it helps with the oxidization part. And then we'll do the same thing with the onion. We'll put a little flour, a little starch, a little egg, and then we'll fry. It's simple as that. So I'm gonna do this for the next few minutes in relative peace and quiet. I'll leave the camera on, and yeah. All right, so here we go. It's a pretty good amount, but I never know exactly what I'm going to use. So I'm just basically going to split it between, actually I think to start I'm just going to dump it all in this one. We'll let it heat up and melt, and then we'll transfer what we need to the other pan. If needed, I have more in the freezer, and I won't hesitate to use it. But this is probably going to be a decent amount. And for the amount we're going to make, well, I never know exactly, but it's probably going to be, I'd say 10 to 20 with 4 big potatoes. And towards the end, if I get kind of impatient, I'll just start making them really big. Yeah, so that's that. We're going to turn on the burner, slowly let that come up. All right, we're back. I normally would like to do things on the island. This is where I like to do all my prep work, but because a lot of liquid's going to come out of here, it just made the most sense. So bear with me a moment. So just got to get this set up. So we're basically just going to put the cheesecloth in the bowl. Hope it stays on there the way we need it to. And I'm just gonna hold it on in place while I kind of shimmy the potatoes in there. I should mention, I'm just realizing as I'm doing this, I didn't like I would probably normally like triple check the starch on the potatoes was completely gone. You're looking at my empty sink, sorry. I did not do that. It's mostly done. Also, I just realized I could do this over the bowl, because what we'll get is might be able to use some potato starch if we let it sit. So a lot of it's going to depend how patient we are. And hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm kind of like squeezing the bottom, and then I'll just squeeze other sides. You're never going to get every last drop out, but the goal is to get as much as possible. And clear note I'll make for the future, this is a terrible angle. So hopefully you can at least see the starch. And if you look at the water, you can kind of see it's like cloudy. So if you let this sit for like 5 or 10 minutes, we could actually dump off the water and use the starch. I've done that in the past. I don't know if it makes a difference or not. Again, typically for this recipe, I'll start 1 or 2 and then kind of adjust if I think they need a little more flour or starch or whatever, but we're gonna fry them pretty good, so they'll be super crispy. I think we're about done here. Maybe not. All right, so I'm just gonna dump this. I'm not gonna wait. Our potato should be fairly dry. I'm gonna dump that. I'm gonna grab the onions and dump them in. Then we'll add our egg. And I'm probably gonna add a little cornstarch just because I know we're gonna need to at some point. And I'm gonna call a quick timeout to wash my hands and grab the egg. All right, we're back. So good news, bad news. The chicken fat is all melted, and I'll show you that in a moment. The bad news, well, it smells amazing. The bad news is there's no way I'm getting it in the 2 pans, so that's gonna kind of be an issue, but worst case, we'll just do as much as we can. I mean, it's not to say we have to use the chicken fat, but that's kind of what we're doing here today. So I'm trying to thaw out quickly a couple of other backup fats that I have, backup bags of chicken fat. And as long as I can get them unfrozen, I can kind of just put them on the stove and get them heated enough. All right, so again, we're adding, I'm not measuring, just kind of eyeballing. I'm not even sure what this spoon actually holds, but again, I think it'll be good in the end. And then we got our egg. Oops, that's why you crack into a small bowl first, but that worked out okay. And I'm just gonna use my hands for this part, just kind of get everything mixed around. Again, I can already tell there's definitely not enough liquid in here, so I think probably gonna need at least 1 more egg, which is fun because I have the gloves on, and that means I gotta take them off and mix it again. Anyway, small things, but yeah, there's no way that's ready. So pardon me while I grab another egg. Also, interesting note on food shows, how come they never wash their hands? That bothers me. I also notice what seems to be a lot of cross-contamination, but anyway, that's just me. I'm sure it's edited out, but yeah, we're a one-man team here, so we're doing everything. You may hear that chicken fat bubbling in the background. Just to save my hands a little. Got egg on them after all. I still don't know if this is going to be enough. And we're definitely not adding actual liquid in here. So worst case, we might need to add 1 more egg, but hopefully not. I prefer it when that first one I make doesn't kind of fall into oblivion. Because if there's not enough binder, it's just going to kind of be like a million pieces of potato. Which isn't a bad thing, but it makes the pan kind of a mess, and cleaning it up can be annoying. We're still frying away. Been debating using another pan, just throwing some oil in it. More because I'm very impatient, but again, once I probably didn't get the oil, the chicken fat hot enough, so now I'm paying the price. I'm painfully waiting for it to get warmer. I did. Alright, so I just flipped one of these for, I guess it would be the second time. I just wanted to show you kind of what some of the differences. So you could just see like this one up here is pretty dark, kind of moving to light. This one looks good. It's probably done. This one I'd say again got like different spots of that'll just be another great part of these, is that they'll be crispy for sure, but they'll all have like different parts of the pancake because of the way I make them be different textured. So just another fun thing. You can also use molds. I don't, that could be dangerous putting metal into the oil, but if you wanted a bunch of round ones, or something else I considered, maybe I'll try it, we'll see, is just to make like a, of course I can't think what it's called right now, but basically just put potatoes in the entire pan, and line the entire thing, fry it and flip it. That would be like more of a fancy version, but we'll see. Maybe we'll try it. Let me definitely let these guys finish up. We'll salt them. Ooh, this one is definitely done. That's always a nice accomplishment just to get the first one done. That means we're getting there. And I guess just like steaks or burgers on the grill, like some are gonna finish faster than others, so you just gotta kind of monitor as you go. We're gonna kind of make a big flat one since I was talking about it, and it'll just help kind of speed things on the way here, and it'll be fun, because why not? In the end, as long as it tastes good, who cares? Now the question is, can I get this in without burning myself? Oh, all right. That worked out. So that's not as big as I was kind of thinking. I was thinking outlining the entire pan. I decided against it just because in case I mess it up, we have a little bit of backup. When you put them in, you can push them down a little bit. Again, I almost like them better when they're not super, not compact, but like level, because then you'll get these little nooks and crannies that are just going to taste so good. One thing to mention quickly is, one, thank you. I can't believe how many people looked at the first video. You know, 100 views is nothing on YouTube, but honestly, I was surprised they had any. So 100 was kind of amazing. So I'm glad people, assuming they like it. I didn't look at how long the people watched it, just the number of views so far. But anyway, if you're in the South Jersey, outside of Philly area, Mount Laurel, I did actually just open a bakery, RuizBakesandBreaks.com. The link's on my YouTube bio. Menu's pretty limited, but it's just local treats. My whole thing is making really simple food, just as high quality as possible. So my big thing is like chocolate chip cookies, for example, but it's not like the chocolate chip cookie you would think of. I love when people try it and the reaction. Again, talking about how great my food is obnoxious. I'll just say, if you're in the area and want to try some treats, my cookies, my pound cakes. My new thing is this like fancy Twix called a Millionaire Shortbread. If you watch Great British Bake Off, they've definitely made it on there. It is mind-blowingly good. One of those things you make it once and you immediately know it's part of your permanent permanent recipe repertoire. Yeah, I think I've made and sold at least 4 of those in the past 2 weeks alone, if that says anything. So anyway, it is a very small house-run business. Oh my God, that looks amazing. Sorry, I had to interrupt. And yeah, it's very kind of local. It's my side gig, if you will. I'm doing it out of passion and love, not for money. So yeah, that makes, I was happy to have any orders. I think we've had about 15 so far, and we is collective we, but it's just me. I'll do all the baking, all the shopping, all the delivery. We had our first kind of I call it like stranger customer, but it was the first person I didn't know. That was pretty exciting. So hope to have more. If not, I'm happy to just make and sell my stuff to my family and friends. And I don't mean that to sound kind of skeezy, but I think for a lot of people, they know I make a lot of good food and they don't want to bother me to make it all the time. This kind of gives them a nice way to kind of get what they need, and everyone kind of wins. So yeah, anyway, I'm chatting away here, but That looks great. It kind of looks like a heart. How cute. I'm gonna leave that one for my wife. So yeah, we're still going. We got, oh, I did say I was gonna do a bunch this time. Again, normally I'd have music on and I'd be incredibly focused. It's a very different vibe, if anyone cares to hear. Doing it kind of as you're trying to talk about what you're doing. You're trying to teach people, but I really like that part of doing this. Or I think we can get one more. This one. And tossing anything like that's probably not advised because it's definitely splashed a little bit, and it almost broke apart. Pardon me for washing my hands. Again, I find it funny that no one on TV ever does and seemingly touch everything in their kitchen. How do they touch raw chicken and then dip their hand in their salt and then season their food? Can someone explain that to me? Because that's the one that drives me nuts. I see all the time. They just throw that thing of salt like away after the episode airs. I don't really understand. It seems very wasteful. Yeah, anyway. I think we probably have enough for maybe one more skillet pan full. So I'm hoping I won't actually need the extra fat, although at this point, I feel like it could end up being wasted, which that would be kind of a travesty. Because why I do make stock regularly in that case is probably like 3 or 4 times a year when I have like 3 or 4 roasted chicken carcasses. And I'm only really getting the fat when I do that. Alright, so I think we've seen what we need to see here. I'm going to turn off the video. If there's anything, sorry, I'm laughing at myself. I do find myself quite entertaining. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. If you do, I don't know why you're watching, but whatever. Free country. If I do anything different, which at this point would just be maybe adding that extra fat, I'll pop the video back on and explain, but otherwise we're going to kind of say this is done. This is just a question now of doing what you've already seen and heard me talk through, so that's that. Not sure when I'm going to put this out, but happy holidays, happy new year, and thanks for watching, everyone.